Everyone bows down to Japan. Others swear China is the future. But while they're busy fighting over the crown, Korea is working in silence. And now, without making a sound, Hyundai and Kia are absolutely embarrassing Toyota with SUVs that are more powerful, more spacious, and come with warranties the Japanese can only dream about. Yeah, the almighty RAV4 isn't sleeping well at night anymore, because what's coming from Korea in 2026 isn't competition. It's a declaration of war. Sometimes you don't need to scream to be heard. You don't need chrome everywhere, curved screens or luxury badges for people to turn their heads. You just need to do things right, and that's exactly what Kia did. Today, I'm introducing you to an SUV that doesn't show off but makes you fall in love anyway. The all-new Kia Sportage 2026. This is a vehicle that found the sweet spot between design, technology, safety, and efficiency. It's not the most expensive or the most popular, but its elegant redesign, intelligent interior, and comfortable handling could make you forget about a lot of other options out there. In this video, we're going to break it down piece by piece. Design, engine, fuel economy, safety, and of course whether it's worth it compared to its rivals. Because sometimes the best choice isn't the loudest one, it's the most balanced. The Kia Sportage didn't just appear out of nowhere, it's been fighting for its place in the SUV world for over 30 years. Born in 1993, at a time when Korean vehicles were looked at with suspicion, nobody was betting on them. They were simple, basic, budget options. But Kia knew something clear. This was just the beginning. With each new generation, they polished their formula. Better design, more technology, greater safety, and a reliability that started turning heads and changing minds. And it wasn't luck. It was constant work, improvement after improvement, year after year. So much so that by 2025, the Sportage was already ranked highly in Consumer Reports and earned an 8 out of 10 from Car and Driver. Two publications that don't hand out compliments easily. It's not the most sporty SUV, not the most exciting behind the wheel, but as a complete package today, it's one of the most solid options in its segment. A vehicle that doesn't need to brag because it already earned its respect. The Kia Sportage 2026 arrives with a completely new face, and we're not talking about a simple refresh. We're talking about a transformation with purpose. Gone are the controversial boomerang-style lights that divided opinions. Now the front is much more refined with a tasteful grille, slim headlights perfectly integrated, and clean lines that give it an elegant and modern look without needing to grab attention with flashy elements. It's one of those SUVs you see driving by and think, that's well done, without exaggerations, without unnecessary decorations. And when it comes to proportions, pay attention to this. It measures 15 feet 3 inches long, 6 feet 1 inch wide, 5 feet 7 inches tall, and has a wheelbase of 9 feet. What does that mean? More real space for passengers, better distribution of the cabin, and a feeling of spaciousness you notice the moment you open the door. The new Sportage no longer wants to be weird. It wants to be desirable, and it's achieving that with a design that finally does justice to everything it carries inside. Stepping into the new Kia Sportage 2026 is like climbing into a premium SUV, but without paying like you're buying a German spaceship. The first thing you see are two curved 12.3-inch screens joined in a single panoramic panel that looks like something out of a concept car. Everything is modern, well integrated, with quality finishes, a sporty steering wheel with a flat bottom, piano black details, ambient lighting, and a rotary gear selector that gives it that futuristic touch. In technology, it doesn't fall behind. It has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, Wi-Fi with subscription, wireless charger, fingerprint authentication, highway driving assist that changes lanes by itself, and even a Harman Kardon audio system that sounds brutal. And the space? Man, this isn't some compact car. 5 adults ride comfortably with good legroom and headroom, and in the trunk, you get up to 69 cubic feet if you fold the seats, or 46 cubic feet with everyone on board. Not bad for an SUV that doesn't brag, but delivers and surprises. Under the hood, the Sportage 2026, in its non-hybrid version, comes with a 2.5-litre 4-cylinder engine that delivers 187 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. No, It's not going to pin you to your seat, but it doesn't need to. For city and highway, it's more than capable. It accelerates from 0 to 60 in about 9.1 seconds and does it without drama, without effort, without making it seem like the engine is suffering. The transmission is an 8-speed automatic, quite smooth, without those annoying jerks that remind you you're in an entry-level SUV. And it comes standard with front-wheel drive. But if you live in a mountainous area or simply like getting off the pavement, you have the AWD option, which improves stability and grip. Want something with a more adventurous look? The X Pro version gives you that and more. All-terrain tires, 17-inch rims, and adaptable driving modes for mud, snow, or whatever crosses your path. It's not a sporty SUV, it's a sensible SUV, and today that's worth gold. Although Kia still hasn't released official data for the 2026 model, everything indicates the fuel consumption will be very similar to the previous year because the 2.5-litre engine remains unchanged. So we can already get a pretty clear idea. In the city, it's around 23 miles per gallon. On the highway, it goes up to 30 miles per gallon, and on average combined it's close to 25 miles per gallon. Is it an ultra-efficient engine? No. But it's not a gas guzzler either. And that's important because we're talking about a good-sized SUV with real space for 5 adults and a generous trunk. The consumption is in the average for the segment, which means it's not going to make you suffer every time you pass a gas station. Now, if you choose the AWD version, prepare for a small increase in consumption, but it's still reasonable. In summary, if you're looking for a balanced SUV that doesn't swallow the tank every 3 days, the Sportage delivers without drama. If there's something Kia is doing right lately, it's not skimping on safety, even from the base versions. The Sportage 2026 is no exception. From the entry level, you already have automatic emergency braking, pedestrian detection, lane keeping alert and assist, blind spot monitoring, and rear cross traffic alert. In other words, the essentials to avoid silly or serious accidents. But if you move up in trim, things get even more interesting. The more complete versions add adaptive cruise control with curve reading, something that a few years ago was exclusive to premium brands. This not only maintains distance from the car ahead, but adjusts speed depending on the road layout. A delight on long trips. There are no crash tests yet for the 2026 model, but if it repeats what we saw in 2025, we can expect high ratings in protection for adults and children. So yes, the Sportage may not be the sportiest, but when it comes to taking care of your loved ones, it's playing seriously. And if we're talking about long-term peace of mind, the Kia Sportage 2026 has one of the most generous backings in the market. Kia offers you 5 years or 60,000 miles of general warranty, and the best part, 10 years or 100,000 miles for the powertrain. That covers engine and transmission for a decade. Very few brands give you that confidence without paying extra. Now, unlike Toyota or Hyundai, it doesn't include free maintenance, but you're not going to go broke servicing it either. Parts are accessible, labor is economical, and Kia already has a good support network throughout North America, so maintaining it isn't a drama or a gamble. And the prices? It starts at around $30,000 and can reach up to $42,000 in the most equipped version. But if you're looking for the best balance, the X-Line version for around $32,000 is a great choice. Dual-zone climate control, heated seats, wireless charger, bigger rims, and even a panoramic sunroof. It's not cheap, but when you see everything it offers, it starts to sound more reasonable than many of its rivals. The Kia Sportage 2026 didn't come to break records. It came to earn your trust. It doesn't brag, doesn't boast, but it's so well made that it makes the big names uncomfortable. It's comfortable, safe, modern, and with a warranty many envy. Is it better than a Toyota RAV4? Well, the RAV4 is still better known, sells more, and has a very strong brand image. But it's also more expensive, less equipped in base versions, and with a warranty that doesn't even come close. The Sportage isn't perfect, but if you want technology, design, and backing without overpaying, it's one of the smartest options out there right now. Not only that shines is marketing, and that applies perfectly to the Hyundai Tucson. This one doesn't scream, doesn't show off, it doesn't promise to conquer Mars or launch 1,000 horsepower, but there it is, gaining ground without making a fuss, with solid arguments. It has modern design, truly useful technology, and a warranty that puts pressure on giants like Toyota and Honda. Exaggerated power? No. Extreme luxury? Not that either. What it has is something worth gold in an SUV. Balance, comfort, functionality, and mechanical confidence. Today, I'm not here to sell you smoke. I'm going to tell you why so many people recommend it, and also what the ads don't tell you. Because if you're going to spend your money, it should be on something that pays you back in peace of mind. So stick around until the end, because the Tucson hides more secrets than you imagine. For years, Hyundai was like that friend who got invited to the party but nobody paid attention to. The cheap brand, dependable but without spark, like it did things well, but without emotion. That's in the past now. Today, Hyundai doesn't just compete with the big players. It's stepping on their heels, and in some cases leaving them behind. How? With real design, technology you actually use, and warranties that neither Toyota nor Honda dare to match. And that's where the Tucson 2025 enters. You see it, and it looks like a premium SUV, but without costing like one. The new grille, the more striking rims, those sharp lines, and the black details. You don't have to be an expert to notice it looks expensive. But it's not an exaggerated or screaming design. It's elegant, modern, and with lots of personality. It's not just another one in the crowd. And now let's talk about size, because it does matter. It measures 15 feet 2 inches long, 6 feet 2 inches wide, 5 feet 5 inches tall, with a wheelbase of 9 feet. What do you gain from that? A compact SUV, but with the soul of a midsize, more space in the cabin, more comfort for those in the back, and a better trunk. It's spacious, but without becoming clumsy to move around the city. And in the real world, that's appreciated a lot. This is where the Tucson relaxes, slows the pace, and tells you I didn't come to race, I came to make your life easier. It mounts a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine that delivers 187 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. It's connected to an 8-speed automatic transmission that works smoothly without jolts. Sounds decent, right? And it is on paper, but when you drive it, the story changes a little. It's not that it's slow, because it does 0 to 60 in about 8.8 seconds, which is fine for the segment. But if you're one of those who floors the accelerator expecting adrenaline, you won't find it here. It won't put a smile on your face when you accelerate hard, and that's okay, because it wasn't designed for that. The Tucson is meant for something else. For those who want to go comfortably, smoothly, without annoying noises or harsh jerks. And in that, it truly delivers very well. The steering is light, the suspension filters bumps well, and the acoustic insulation is better achieved than you'd expect. Perfect for city, traffic, or long trips where you want peace, not thrills. Now, it's not all relaxation. This Tucson is also functional. It can tow up to 2,000 pounds, which is enough to pull a motorcycle, a small boat, or a light trailer. Nothing extraordinary, but it gets you out of a jam if you need it. And the fuel economy? In theory, Hyundai promises up to 23 miles per gallon in the city and 30 on the highway in its front-wheel drive version. Sounds nice, but you know how this goes in real life. Those numbers drop. If you choose the AWD version, those numbers drop even more. It's not a gas-guzzling SUV, but it's not a fuel economy champion either. Want more push or fewer visits to the gas station? Then the hybrid or plug-in hybrid versions suit you better. They have more power, better response, and consume less. But those are another story I'll tell you in another video. Hyundai says the Tucson with front-wheel drive can give you up to 23 miles per gallon in the city and 30 on the highway. And yes, in ideal conditions, with perfect weather, smooth traffic, and a light foot, maybe you'll achieve it. But in the real world, with traffic lights, hills, air conditioning, and some haste, those numbers drop. In real tests with average driving, the most common is to see between 21 and 23 miles per gallon in the city and 27 to 29 on the highway, depending on how much you push it. And if you go for the all-wheel drive version, then prepare to see a drop of between 1 and 3 miles per gallon on average. It's not a gas guzzler, it's not super efficient either. It's in the middle point. If fuel consumption is your absolute priority, then better look at a RAV4 hybrid or the Tucson hybrid, where you'll see real numbers above 40 miles per gallon. But if what you're looking for is a balance between performance, space, and reasonable consumption, the gasoline Tucson is still a pretty sensible option. The Tucson 2025 starts at $30,200 with the SE version that already brings the basics: touchscreen, backup camera, connectivity. But if you want to feel like you made a smart purchase, that you really squeezed every penny or dollar, then the version that's most worth it is the SEL with convenience package. Why? Because there you already level up without paying a fortune. You have power liftgate, heated seats for those cold days, wireless charger that's appreciated daily, dual zone climate control, and a bunch of driving assists that do make a difference. And if you dig a little deeper into your pocket for about $100 extra, you can add all-wheel drive. Something very useful if you live in rainy areas with irregular roads or simply want more security. That configuration gives you a complete SUV, balanced and well-equipped without reaching the top of the range. In summary, it's not the cheapest, but it is the one that gives you the most value for what you pay. In safety, the Hyundai Tucson doesn't play around. It brings everything you expect from a modern SUV and more. It includes automatic braking with pedestrian detection, lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, blind spot sensors, and a crisp backup camera that you really appreciate when parking. And the best part is that Hyundai doesn't charge you an arm and a leg for all that. Several of these systems come from the SEL version. You don't have to go all the way to the top trim. This isn't just marketing to fill out the spec sheet. They work well and you feel them when driving, especially on the highway or in heavy traffic. Consumer Reports gives it a rating of 8 out of 10 in safety, which is more than respectable. Is it as agile as a Mazda CX-5? As precise as a RAV4? Maybe not, but in active and passive safety equipment, the Tucson is above average, and that translates to one key thing: peace of mind every time you get in. This is where Hyundai puts pressure on the big names. While Toyota and Honda stick to the basics, Hyundai throws the strong hook. It gives you 5 years or 60,000 miles of general warranty, 10 years or 100,000 miles on the powertrain, and 3 years or 36,000 miles of free maintenance. And you don't see that often. In fact, no Japanese brand comes close. That long warranty isn't just a pretty number, it's a signal that they trust what they manufacture. It's like they're telling you, if something fails, I'll take care of it. And in these times, that's worth a lot. Plus, parts aren't inflated in price. They're accessible. And the best part is that the service network throughout North America is well established, so you don't have to go searching for specialized shops every time something sounds weird. So yes, with the Tucson, you're not just buying a nice and comfortable SUV, you're buying real peace of mind long term. And that's something many cars don't offer, no matter how good their reputation is. If this video was useful to you, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe, because here, we don't repeat what the brands say or throw empty talk at you. We tell you the good, the bad, and what nobody dares to warn you about when you're buying a car. Tell me in the comments if this Tucson works for you, or if you prefer another option like the CX-5, the RAV4, or some Chinese model that surprised you. And also, tell me what SUV you want us to compare in the next video. You decide what we talk about here. See you very soon, but you know how this goes. With more truth, less marketing, and zero stories disguised as spec sheets. And if you're interested in knowing why the Mazda CX-5 is still such a strong rival, I'll leave that video linked at the end. See you later.